Following up on something the Vice President said today, does the President agree with her that the recent Supreme Court decision on abortion access is similar to slavery?
I have not seen her comments. I would like to see her comments for myself
her comment
before.
Was, we know, NAACP, that our country has a history of claiming ownership over human bodies. And today, extremist so-called leaders are criminalizing doctors and punishing women from making healthcare decisions for themselves.
Well, she is correct. Today's decisions are criminalizing doctors and essentially taking the rights away from women, taking the freedom away from women, really taking away people's privacy. That does matter, and that is important.
Slavery, so the President agrees.
For me, I appreciate you reading out what she said. I need to actually see exactly what was said and in what complete context. That's what I need to do as a spokesperson for the administration. But I will say that second part of what you just said, the Vice President is actually right. I just at the top, I just laid out what women are going through in this country because of an extreme decision that SCOTUS made. Because of what they did, it is going to upend and change the lives of women across the country. And we now have to be mindful about contraception. We have to be mindful about marriage equality, because they have made it really clear. Extreme Republicans, ultra MAGA Republicans have made it clear that that is what they're going after next. So that does matter.
And then following up about this comment that the Saudis say did not happen, but the President says did happen. Did you personally hear the President raise the issue of Khashoggi's murder with MBS?
I trust the President. He made those comments as you heard directly from him during the press conference, and he said at the top of the meeting he mentioned Jamal Khashoggi, and so
you did not hear him say that.
I am just saying to you that the President himself, I was not in the meeting to answer that question, but the President himself said and laid out very clearly, and just to be clear, that press conference happened because he wanted to make sure that you all heard from him directly. That was the President's decision. He wanted to make sure that he read out what occurred in the bilateral meeting with the Saudi Arabia government.
But so ultimately, we get back from this trip. There's no new peace talks in the Middle East. There's no new commitment to increase oil production in the Gulf. So what was the point of this trip?
I just read out earlier, Peter, of all of the things that had occurred, some of the do-outs or some of the things that we were able to get done during this trip. Look, let's step back for a second and talk about what the President was trying to do on this trip. If you look at this region, the Middle East, it's a critical region. The President, his intent was to make sure that there was not a vacuum in the region, so that you didn't have China and Russia stepping in, trying to fill that vacuum. And so it's important for the United States to make sure that we're having those conversations, direct leader-to-leader conversations, and that we talk about our national security, we talk about food security, we talk about climate change. All are issues that are important to the American family. And so as it relates to the oil production, I talked about, and Jared talked about what OPEC Plus did early in June. We are confident that we will be able to measure how the success of those conversations that the President had in the next several weeks.
Why not insist on a commitment, though? He gets back with no commitment, and the price of oil per barrel shot up. Is that what the President wanted, to go there and have the price of oil get more expensive?
But again, we have seen gas prices go down in the past 34 straight days.
Aren't they still $2 a gallon higher than when you guys took office, though?
First of all, we have to look at the impact of how we got there, right? You think about the war that Russia has taken on in Ukraine, an unmitigated war, and a war that is brutal and that has had an effect on the price gases going up, almost $2. We have talked about that endlessly. And also, we are also in a once-in-a-generation pandemic. So there are outside factors that has led to gas prices going up, to food prices going up, to inflation going up. So that is really important. What we have seen in the last 34 days is that gas prices have gone down on average by 50 cents a gallon. That matters. That matters to teachers, that matters to firefighters, that matters to nurses, that matters to everyday people. And the president is going to continue to do the work to make sure the prices go down. I'm going to continue, Peter. Thank you. Well, actually, let me try and go to people I haven't called on. Go ahead, Jenny.
Thanks. Jared was just talking about